Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel for the Renaissance English History Podcast. Today we're doing another look at another Tudor portrait.
This is hard.
It is. And the propaganda behind it, because the Tudors were expert at visual propaganda. Do you know what propaganda is?
Nope.
It's kind of like advertising where you put a message through visually.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you want to redo this because I made it all weird, feel free.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Perfect. You want to go now?
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Today we are looking at the Dynasty Portrait. If you are new here, a very special warm welcome to you. I am your host, Heather Tesco, and I have been podcasting on Tudor England since 2009. This is the place where I put all of my episodes from all of my various podcasts, as well as loads of extra content like this video right here. Also, I wanted to share something with you guys. You know, I have pens in the title of this channel because I'm obsessed with pens. I don't know if you can tell from like over here that I have like a pen obsession. I discovered one of my favorite pens in the world are needlepoint gel pens, like this sucker. Oh, I love that little needlepoint right up there. So that's what I'm using right now. I just thought that maybe every week I would share with you the pen that I was using that week. But I'm really happy right now because they have back to school stuff out at Target, and we went on Saturday. And they got they're the Target brand, the Up and Up pens, or Up and Up Target brand of gel pens, and they write really well. I might go back and get some more. They were really inexpensive too. I'm a big fan. If you like gel pens, I know some people don't like gel pens, but I do. Anyway, this is the main pen that I'm using this week. 7 millimeters. I really like these needlepoint gel pens, but I really prefer a finer point as well, like a 5 millimeter. Anyway, that's what I've got going on. So let's talk about Tudor propaganda. So today we're looking at the very famous 1537 portrait of Henry VIII. This is like the really famous one that we all think about. It's actually comes from the original was the Whitehall mural by Hans Holbein. And this is the one that shows the family of Henry VIII, which with his wife, Jane Seymour, his parents, Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. So let's talk about it. What was happening in 1537 when this was commissioned? The year before, Henry had dispensed with Anne Boleyn, executing her on trumped-up charges of adultery and witchcraft. The Pilgrimage of Grace had threatened the stability of northern England, with tens of thousands of people protesting the dissolution of the monasteries. And in early 1536, before Anne had died, Henry had suffered from his horrible jousting accident that would forever leave him injured, and surely had scared him into thinking about his own mortality. And also, he had no male heir yet, and he had been on the throne for 25 years. Even worse, the standard attitude towards a woman's adultery in Renaissance England was that the husband was at fault because he hadn't been able to keep his wife happy, and so therefore she had to go elsewhere. Adultery on the part of a woman was actually almost as embarrassing for the husband as it would have been for the wife. I mean, it was still terrible for the wife too, but it was really seen as really embarrassing for the husband at the time too. It like there was all this stuff about, clearly he was lacking. So this point in Henry's reign, his reign was threatened by the Pilgrimage of Grace. His wife is executed. His leg is super sore. He has no male heir. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the best of times for him, would you? Now he does have Jane Seymour, so yay for that. And she's pregnant. She's getting pregnant. He will have Edward. But at this point, as this painting is getting started, not good. He's just finishing up the building of Whitehall Palace, which was along the river, stretching from Charing Cross to Westminster. Holbein was commissioned to create a mural that would decorate the Privy Chamber. And it was a life-size painting measuring 3 meters by 4. It's like 9 feet by 12 feet. It was a huge painting that would dominate the chamber. It would include Henry and his parents and his queen, who finally did give him a son, all standing around a piece of marble inscribed with a message about how great the Tudor dynasty is. There, front and center, is this life-size portrait of Henry looking directly at the viewer in all of his glory, designed to create awe in anyone who comes close to it. There are jewels in his furs, in his cap. There's luxurious clothing showing just how wealthy he is. And then there's the codpiece. This is the pose that we will forever associate with Henry, with his wide stance, his feet apart, his hands on his hips. He's looking directly at us, just kind of daring us to question his supremacy, right? And there that codpiece is front and center, showing us what a man he is. Any woman would have been crazy to go elsewhere, it yelled. Want to laugh at him behind his back? Yeah, well, just gotta look at that. Basically, the whole portrait was designed to have us see just what a manly man he was. This is also the first time that a portrait had been used in this way, and people were literally struck dumb by it. No one had ever seen anything like it. Workers were caught off guard and actually stopped and bowed to it. At first, people thought it really was the king. Any nobles who came into the privy chamber, nobles who might be tempted to plot and rebel against the Tudors, who might still consider them Welsh upstarts even 50 years after Bosworth Field, maybe they would think twice about taking any further rebellious actions when they saw the might and strength of their king like this. The pose itself was considered actually very vulgar in the courts of Europe. Apparently, it was considered very bad form to depict royals full face. You never, if you think about it, you never really see portraits full face looking at you at that time. They're always like three quarters or from the side. Holbein's original had appeared three-quarter face, and the change to that full-on looking right at you was probably something that Henry himself had asked for. In the early 17th century, Karl van Mander wrote that Henry stood there majestic in his splendor. He was so lifelike that the spectator felt abashed, annihilated in his presence. And the truth, at the age of 45, Henry was on the brink of old age. The athletic youth who had reveled in the tilt-yard sports was a figure of the past. His legs were causing him increasing pain and would soon make him kind of semi-invalid. He was becoming super fat and super unwieldy, and those slender legs were in reality bandaged to cover the open sores on his legs. In 1537, Henry VIII, far from being the man that he wished others to see him, was actually really insecure. The past was a depressing panorama of expensive and inglorious military adventures, 28 years of married life without a son to show for any of them. The present was a skin of the teeth survival from defeat at the hands of unruly subjects, continued threat from people who regarded him as a tyrant. The future was possibly quite short and might well witness the end of the Tudor dynasty. So we need to put up a painting like this to kind of reassure us and all those that we come in contact with that we are in control of the situation and it's not as bad as it might look. So there you go, Hans Holbein's Dynasty Portrait. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it to the end of this video and enjoyed it, I hope I earned a press of that like button and a subscription to my channel where I put out videos like this almost every day. It helps me grow the channel, and who doesn't want their YouTube algorithm tutorified, right? Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.